Welcome back everybody, my name's Robert and in this video I'll be showing you Office Combat as my game I'm making for the Game Boy Competition 2021, and I've made a few changes since last episode. I'll run through with you and how I'm thinking about improving it before I submit it. So looking at the overall project, you can see I've made some more levels based off of the original one we made, which was this one. I've recolored them now so that there are some new colors. Basically, blue and orange is the theme, and I've now made it so when you defeat the fighter, you can now go through this trigger and go into the next level. And obviously, our intention is we're moving through the office in order to get to the boss's office. To those of you who don't know, the idea of this game is that it's a Friday evening. As you can see, the clock says it's like 7 o'clock, and we want to go home on time, right? So the idea is we have to go and ask our boss to leave, but all these people that we're fighting are coming to basically slow us down. And I'll talk about how each one will be slowing us down a bit later. So as you can see already, I've made it so to start, you just walk through into this trigger and it will start the game. I think that's a very simple way of just, telling the player you are a character on screen and you can move, and it's telling you to move to the right. Very simple. And obviously Office Combat there, big on the screen, fills the screen nicely. And then when we come in here, I'm going to make it so the player actually is sat on this desk, and then, it comes up with text at the bottom saying, like a email or text from your wife telling you, to come home for some reason. And then the idea is we'll say, well, I have to tell my boss first, because he wants me to stay. So you walk off, and obviously maybe this guy is sat here, and he says, where are you going? I need you to do this. And then basically you tell him no, then you start fighting basically. And obviously once you've defeated him, you come in here, and maybe there'll be another person sat down here, and he'll ask you to, he or she, I'll show you the characters in a minute. He or she will ask you to, can you copy me 100 of these? I'm busy working and I want to go home early. And then you say, well, I want to go home early and that's not my job. And then you start fighting. Then the kitchen, we can have somebody at the fridge saying, did you eat my sandwich? I know it was you or something. And then you obviously didn't eat it, but he is adamant that you did. So you obviously fight. And then after that, we come to the elevators, and that maybe there'll be a delivery guy who's too lazy to deliver to, somebody. So you obviously say no, fight him, and then you come to the reception, and then obviously the receptionist tells you, no, you can't see the boss, and then you come in here, and then he's here. Maybe he's like on the couch asleep or something, and then you tell him you have to go home early, and he says no, and then you fight him, and then once you fight him, he lets you go home early, and you've basically won the game. I'll get back into the gameplay now. As you can see, it's very simple, the way we just punch and jump around, and the AI isn't too advanced, right? I've currently made it so he attacks and then steps back, attacks and steps back. And that isn't very advanced. I could make it so he does a double jab, or he goes back even faster. I could even implement a crouch or something, but I feel like that might be too much. Seeming as I'm trying to make 7 of these games. I think this would be a great starting point for a series, like Office Combat 1, very simple, where the story is the main aspect, and the idea is you're just trying to fight off these guys. And even if you're button mashing, the idea is you as a human being want to defeat these people, because it's such a common thing to be trapped in your job like this, and it's just not great. Especially, I know in game design, it's crunch time is just not a great thing, and we shouldn't be, we shouldn't let it happen. But obviously we do, because we want to keep our jobs, and that just isn't how I think that how jobs should work. So yeah, so if we keep moving forward, we can kind of think about how each character would operate. It's the same thing, really. Like, there's nothing much differentiating the characters except for their artwork. So I need to think about their speed and their tactics, and obviously their health points. So that will come in a bit later. But I obviously don't want it to be too hard because it's not about the fighting at this point. It's about the story and about getting to the end and having the payoff. So I think in the next video I can implement all the artworks of the characters, and I'll show you the characters. If you've seen my other videos, you know what these are already. But I haven't changed them, and I want to keep this simple because I want to get it done. The idea of a game jam is to get things done. And obviously after the game jam I can come back and improve it. And often that's where the most time is spent, because the idea of a prototype or a demo is to test your ideas and see if they really are worth making. So if we have a look at these, obviously the guy we're fighting at throughout the game is just this guy, you know, a little kind of balding looking sneaker wearing guy. And then we can have other characters. Obviously, this will be the boss since he's the biggest. The secretary obviously can be anyone. I think it'll be this guy. And this will be the guy at the elevator, you know, the package guy who can't bother to find the thing. This is a woman that can just be, you know, working somewhere. Now I'm thinking about it, this guy looks like the kind of guy who would accuse you of stealing his meal when you didn't. The other people, you know, the women can be anything they want. Obviously us, we're the top one. And so the main idea that I haven't actually done yet is the idea that you'll be sat at your desk and that the enemy will be sat at their desk as well without the gloves on. The gloves come in, when the gloves come on, that's when the fighting starts, right? So each of these people will be sat at their desk, or, you know, this guy might be at the fridge. And obviously this guy will just be maybe hanging around the elevators. And obviously, yeah, most of these people will be sat at their desk. And this guy might be like asleep. The idea of him being asleep is perfect because the idea is you hate your boss, right? You don't. The idea that he's sleeping when he told you to work is not very good. Good idea. I mean, it's a great idea for a game and to bring emotion into the player, but in real life, yeah, I would not want that. So yeah, that's my ideas for this. And as this vision is coming stronger and stronger, it's much easier to, you know, move forward on the game. And having multiple games at once is good because it means that you spend some time away working on something else, and you're not like putting all of your emotion into this. Once you put all your emotion into something, it's hard to admit when it's not going as well as it could be. And the great thing about game design is that you can make small games and they can be fantastic. One of the things I love about developing for the Game Boy is that it's just how quickly you can get something like done, right? Like obviously I haven't been putting all my effort into this, so I've been, you know, working on it like a few hours every week, and that is kind of built up to what we have now. Obviously I've been working on the Dead Dungeon game, got the Blackjack one, and oh yeah, Slick's game, that one is coming along as well. But yeah, I hope this is a good enough video for you guys. I would be interested into hearing what you guys think. I'll put my patrons up on screen right now. Thank you very much to you guys. I probably will be making this on my Patreon soon. Not when this video goes up, but maybe, you know, after the next video, once I have all the other fighters in. It's an interesting discussion about IP rights, intellectual property rights. Like, if I share this with you, then technically it's not mine anymore. But I'm not looking to sell this game anyway. I maybe might sell like an Office Combat 2 or something once I've, you know, spent some time in thinking about how this stuff works and maybe implementing it in GB Studio 3 if that revamps some of the systems to do with, you know, advanced character animations and stuff like that. But yeah, for now, I think I'll be sharing this with you guys in the future, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, thanks again for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.